There's nothing quite like sculpting something from scratch. But you'll need a good grasp of the tools to avoid coming unstuck. So let's get down to it. Maybe Cuthbert will learn something too. Before starting this tutorial, I'd recommend you complete Start Dreaming for motion controllers if you haven't already. It'll get you up to speed with all the basic controls, so you can focus on becoming a sculpting master. First, make sure that you're sitting comfortably in front of your PlayStation camera. Now hold the Start button for a few seconds to calibrate your imps.
There.
Next, hold the T button on your secondary motion controller to open the assembly menu. Use your primary imp, the one with the face, to open the modes menu with X.
Wrong mode.
Then select Sculpt mode. Its icon is some three-dimensional shapes.
This is gonna be great.
Release the secondary T button to close the menu. Every time you enter Sculpt mode from the modes menu, a new sculpture will be created. You'll also notice that when you're in Sculpt mode, everything outside the sculpture will be blurred and grayed out. You can adjust visual feedback in your preferences, which you can find in the options menu. Before we start sculpting, use the move buttons to reposition your view so you can see the first two platforms and the whole gap between them. Now you need to set your imp reach. If you stretch your arm out in front of you, you'll see your imp doesn't reach the platforms. Setting your imp reach to the platforms will put them within reach of your arms. Hover your imps on either side of the first platform, the one with Connie on it. Tap both move buttons at the same time to set your imp reach.
There.
Now you can reach the platforms with your imp.
Yay.
Setting your imp reach is vital for sculpting. Set it to something large and you'll be able to sculpt huge shapes in the scene. Set it to something small and you can work on tiny details. Once you're in position and have set your imp reach to the first platform, you're ready to start the next step. When you first enter Sculpt mode, the Smear Shape tool will be equipped to your imp. The Smear Shape tool is great for sculpting organic structures, so we should probably pick an appropriate shape. Hold the secondary T button to open the Shapes menu, then select a shape with your primary imp. To resize the shape, hold the secondary Circle button. While holding the Circle button, tilt or twist your secondary controller in either direction to resize up or down. Release the Circle button to stop resizing. Now position your primary imp next to the platform, on one side of the gap. Hold down the primary T button and use your imp to smear shapes into the gap and create an organic structure. You can undo and redo using a gesture on your primary controller. Point or twist the primary controller to the left, then press its square button to undo. To redo, point or twist your primary controller to the right, then press its square button. Or you can undo and redo using the buttons in the Tools menu. Each time you press and hold the primary T button, you'll create a new edit within your sculpture. Bear in mind that all the edits you make are part of a single sculpture, even if they aren't connected. This means that in assembly mode, they'll behave like a single object. Why not try out different shapes to see what works best? Maybe try making something like a rock formation or a tree trunk. If the video ever gets in the way of your sculpting, remember, you can grab and move it with the primary T button. When you want to try out your sculpture, switch to play mode and walk Connie around on it. Once you're happy to move on, go back to edit mode, rewind time in the assembly menu, and proceed to the next step. What happens when we want to edit an existing sculpture rather than start a new one? Let's investigate. Welcome to part 4 of our Start Dreaming tutorials. This time around, I'll show you how to select and group your creations and how to scope in and out of groups. Ah, I see Cuthbert has managed to get himself in a pickle again. Connie, how do you put up with him? What a spanner. But with Connie's help, we can rescue him. Luckily, someone left behind a block for us to use. Remember how to repeat clone blocks to create a bridge? Well, let's do that again. Move your view side on to the block and the gap. Hold the secondary triangle button, then gently grab the block using the primary T button. Move it by moving the controller to create a clone. Just like last time, let go of the triangle button while still holding the T button. Then press the primary square or triangle buttons to make more clones. If you rotate the first block a little before you clone it, you can make an arch. Use the primary T button to angle the first block.